Join the chat. Let's start the show.
Welcome to another fabulous episode of the Happy Hour Show with myself, Lindsey Vertner. I am your host, and I'm excited about tonight's guest. She's an awesome friend of mine, and she is going to drop some gems. I already know, just like all my guests do. Welcome. If you are new to the show, this is the Happy Hour Show, and you've got some things to do. You got to grab your drink and join the chat, okay? Because this isn't a discussion between me, our guest. It's a discussion between me, our guest, and you at home listening or watching wherever you're tuned in from. So make sure that if you're watching live right now, then comment all the way live. And if you're catching the replay later on, then comment replay all day, okay? But either way, make sure you comment, love, share this video out, because you never know who needs to find it on your newsfeed. And sharing is caring, okay? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Lindsey Vertner. I'm a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I am all about mindset, okay? That is my area of expertise. Mindset mastery is my jam. But listen, tonight isn't about me. It's about our special guest. And let me introduce her without further ado. Her name is Myishola Matthews, and she is a master of rebirthing herself. She has lived life as a contemporary ballerina, a best-selling author, the CEO of a marketing firm, and a Grammy Nominated recording artist, and a whole lot more, all while growing up with mental disabilities. From childhood, like many others, her dreams were shot down. But Myishola did not listen at all. She tackled every single dream, and she wants to show you how you can too. So let's welcome tonight's Happy Hour Show guest, Myishola Matthews.
Hey!
Hello!
I love like the whole intro, everything. I was already lit, but now I'm like super lit. I love it. I love it.
Yes. Welcome to the Happy Hour Show. We're super happy to have you. And I know I gave like a super small snippet of just your background, but I want you to tell us, who is Myishola really? Like, give us the good tea. Like, take us back, honey. Share something good with us.
So at the foremost front, I'm that random person that you meet on vacation that you probably didn't want talking to you, but then you're really happy that they did because they're like really like awesome. That's kind of who I am. I just meet random people, and I'm the person like shows up and say, "Hey, I'm supposed to talk to you today, so here's what I have to say." But going really far back, I'm the oldest of 6 children. I am intuitive, like you already know. I love to dance. I'm a creative. I like doing whatever makes me happy, and I'm really good at just being me. I'm very happy to just be myself. So now I'm living in Mexico, living out my dreams with my husband and enjoying my life. And that's basically a really quick sum up of who I am.
Listen, and she is telling you all the truth and nothing but the truth, okay? So we actually randomly met. It wasn't in person to walk up to each other, but we randomly met through a mutual friend named Bunny. And so Bunny is Myishola's friend, Bunny is my friend, and she was like, you know what? I think you two would make good friends. And she connected us, and we have been friends. Like, I've already been to Houston to visit her and everything.
Yes. Because it's not cold, I'm gonna come up there to you. I don't do cold. But yeah. And I love Bunny. Bunny, I ain't seen you. So if you were out there, please find me somewhere else. I'm no longer on Facebook like that, but find me, Bunny. I appreciate you.
So I know that we mentioned that you have some disabilities. And so share a little bit about that and what that was like growing up.
Well, first of all, found out I was autistic. Well, I found out I was autistic. My parents already knew that. And I also have ADHD, or I guess ADD, more than ADHD. Also bipolar. Also have strabismus. Also, my legs didn't work very well either. Like there's something wrong with where my knees were. There's a lot of stuff that was going on. And instead of my parents allowing them to put me in the special classes to help me learn, they decided they were going to ignore it. They were going to figure out a way to get me to learn on my own pace and my own time at home. So majority of the information that I learned, the majority of my education came from my house. And then I would go to school and my parents would bribe me into pretending I learned at school or pretending that I was learning in class. And I would just sit there and play with beads or do whatever I need to do to keep my own attention. And then when I took the test, I'd make 100 and be like, all right, I'm done. But I didn't learn it in school. I learned it at home. But imagine growing up and expecting to fit inside of whatever everybody else is doing. So for instance, I can't sit on chairs that are too soft. I don't like the feeling of leather. There's lots of sensory things that I had that I did not know was tied into being autistic that I got made fun of for. Or I remember having a backpack everywhere I went and I would put books in it and I would sit on it instead of chairs or instead of the seat bus because it was too soft for me. And I just knew I don't like this feeling so much. So my childhood was a lot of adaptation. And also, as I'm struggling right now to speak slowly, my mind goes way quicker than most people. So I talk way faster and I would like to, way faster than people can keep up with. So that also was a bit of a struggle. A lot of my childhood was finding ways to adapt to the world that I was living in a way that I could still be successful while still honoring myself and what was important to me.
Now, listen, there were so many different gems that I could pull out of that. But the main theme that I heard was finding ways to adapt to the world around you, because last year with the pandemic and COVID, everybody was going wild and trying to figure out, how do I adapt to this new world that I am living in? What are some of your best tips that you've taken from your own life that you could share with people on how to adapt when the world around them changes for one reason or another?
The one thing I would say right off bat is embrace change, because guess what? Nothing stays the same. If you think, oh, this is who I am as a person, it will change. If you think, oh, this is what I want to do for a living, it will change. No matter how hard you try to create that homeostasis in your life, it's never going to stay the same. Either you're moving up and changing, or you're staying the same, trying to stay the same, and you're going back down. So the first thing would be embrace that. Let it go. Whatever it is, you're not going to win anyway. Like whatever that change is, I promise you the universe is stronger than you. Do it the first time, let it go. What happens if you don't let it go is the universe will knock you in the face, sucker punch you, and you don't have an option, and you're still going to change. So if you had one of those parents that are like, look, you're going to eat this food now, the easy way, or you're going to sit here till it's done, that's how the universe treats you. My number one tip would be let it go. Number two tip, and that would be understand that you are not whatever identity you created for yourself. That's not who you are. Who you are inside is your emotions, is your feelings, is your character. That's who you really are. And those things, they don't stay the same, but they improve. Hopefully, they're improving. So if you're looking for something that you can maintain, that you can hold on to the fact that you're a kind person. Hold on to the fact that you are a living person. Hold on to the fact that you enjoy being with your family, that you are dependable, that you're reliable, those type of things. Make your life more value-based than being based on accolades and achievement, and you will find more peace in things. So for instance, when I was in school, instead of saying, oh, I'm the person that makes straight A's, I'm the person that does my best. I can control that. I cannot control my grades. I can't really control how I learn. I can't control how my brain decides to change. I might say, okay, I work really well with numbers and visual things, and then my brain chemistry might change. And now, for instance, when I found out I was bipolar, I become bipolar probably around 19 years old. Well, now the way my brain has changed is affecting how I learn. And also my ADD as an adult affected, it is changed with that. So for instance, when I started law school, I made my first C, like a real C. Like I'd made C's before, but you know how you get C's on your thing and you get a progress report and you do some things, you can bring your grade up, you know what I'm saying? No, I made like C on my like transcript C, and I bawled like when I said, because I really did try my best. And I had to understand and remind myself it's not necessarily about my grades. Did I do the best that I can do? And what can I do differently in the future. And if I did my best, that is where I'm setting my bar at. And if my best is not equal to what I needed to reach my goal, let's work on that. But I'm not going to hold myself back from it. I'm not going to devalue myself from it. I'm going to give myself praise for what I did do, maintain my work ethic. I did study. I did try. I did show up. That's great. And then I'll give myself grace for the rest and say, okay, what can we do better next time?
I love that, because too often in life, so many of us, we mess up and then we want to give up. And then we throw ourselves these pity parties, and then we just repeat the cycle and we stay stagnant instead of realizing, like, okay, I'm going to do my best. Mm-hmm. And then if my best wasn't quite what I wanted, then how can I improve? What went well? What didn't go well? You know, having those self markers on how to do better.
Definitely. And you'll feel better about yourself too.
Yes. It's all about shifting that perspective. I love that you said it's not that I'm going to go and get A's, but instead I'm going to do my best. A perspective shift can be the key to so much. If you are just tuning in, you are watching the Happy Hour Show with myself, Lindsey Vertner, and my very beautiful guest, Myishola Matthews. She is an intuitive reader and founder of Lux TV, and we are just getting started. So make sure you grab your drink and join the chat right now. Comment, love, share this video out. Now, something else you said about your childhood was that essentially you got homeschooled and regular school.
Definitely, which is really
How was that?
It's not fun. I'm really, really grateful. One of the things I'm very grateful for my parents is telling me a lot of the time, which I didn't understand as a child, but now I'm like, oh my God, they're so right. They're like, you're going to be a child a lot less of a time than you'll be an adult. Adult will last 80 years. You'll be a child for maybe 18 years. No, Victoria. And that makes a huge difference. So they didn't really care that we didn't have, like, you know, I don't want to say the best childhood or more of a conventional childhood. I spent a lot of time reading books I don't care to read. I spent a lot of time learning concepts that I didn't think were important at the time, that I'm grateful to have that now. And my mother taught a lot more domestically. So she taught me like fractions and science and plants and animals and things like that by doing domestic things. And my father taught me a lot more philosophy and ideologies and understandings. I remember I was like 9 years old and my father handed me The Origin of Species by Darwin. And I didn't understand none of that, because if you've ever read it as an adult, you'd be like, I'm going to fall asleep. But he would be like, all right, you need to read these chapters, and any word you don't know, I need you to go look it up. And if I looked up a word, I had to write down what it was and write the definition. And then he would look at all the words that I looked at and I looked up after I read whatever chapter it is he asked me to read. And then he would ask me, what did you learn from this chapter? And then he would look at the words. And if he didn't think there was enough words or he knew what was in the chapter, he's like, okay, well, what does this word mean? Then, and I didn't write it down, he was going to make me write it down again. So they increased our vocabulary by, like I said, forcing us to read books we didn't want to read. I remember playing chess since I was 3. Like my parents got it. I remember my father got us the one that, the pieces you could, when you press them down, it would mark what piece moved to where, right? And so my sister, he would make me play with my sister, who's about a year and a half younger than me. So let's say I was 4, my sister was like 3, and he would make us play. And then when we finished playing, he would go back and play the game again. Like he would replay it. And if anything didn't make sense, or he found out that he could see we chose who was going to win and who was going to lose, and then we would just make create what we're going to do, he'd make us go play it again. So there's lots of times we didn't get a lot of sleep. I won't say like not a lot of sleep, like, not like, oh, we were staying up all night, but more so you're going to do this until you get it right. You know what I'm saying? Or they pressured us and pushed us to do the best that we can do, and understand that what we were being taught in school and the level that they pushed you to in school was not the level that we needed to succeed. And we were going to have to do more if we wanted to be better. And we were going to, you always say, oh, you have to be 5 times better, to have the same things. Well, as females as well, and especially growing up, like I'm an 80s baby, understanding that as a woman, I'm still going to have to be even better than that. And so they basically said, yeah, you're going to have to do probably not even double, probably triple the work and triple the studying and triple the understanding of things, but it will definitely pay off as an adult, which I completely am very, 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 very grateful for. Very grateful for. I was able to retire at 30. So I'm like, to be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? To be like that sometimes. I didn't have the most fun childhood, but my adult is
Listen. Did y'all hear that little nugget that she dropped in there? Because she slid it on and kept on going. She said she was able to retire at 30. 30. Did you hear that? Retire at 30. Now, okay. So I have to ask you this question because I know some viewers and listeners are wondering. So you talked about, how strict your parents were on you as far as your education and making sure that you were doing your best and learning all the different things that they knew the school system wasn't going to teach you. But financially, how was that upbringing? Because I know that a lot of people get stuck in that financial situation, or they feel like, oh, well, I wasn't given a silver spoon, so that's why I can't retire at 30 and such like that. So explain, if you don't mind us going there, what was that financial background looking like, and how did you progress to being able to retire at 30?
Okay, definitely not any financial background backing there at all. So no, I didn't get some trust from my parents or help or anything like that. The help I got was education. That is what they were able to do. I remember my father taking us to the library. I remember him putting us in different programs. One thing they would do is drop us off and pick us up wherever we need to be. But my father did not have a high school diploma. And my mother had a high school diploma, but she did not work until I was maybe 11 years old. Like, she didn't work. And even in that, she never had to work. My father definitely provided for the family, and he did a bunch of other stuff like computer repair. And he did, like when cell phones came out, screens needed repair. He learned software. He learned how to code. I was coding when I was like maybe 5-6 years old, writing my first programs. I didn't like coding. That wasn't my thing. But my father didn't have a son yet. So he was like, look, you got to learn this. And by the time my brother was old enough to actually do things with computers, he's like, all right, fine. You want to dance? Go dance. All right, son, come here. Let me teach you, X, Y, Z. And so we got by just on him doing a bunch of different businesses, whatever he needs to do. From that, I learned if something is dying, pivot. He was the king of pivoting. You know what I'm saying? When he used to sell CDs and DVDs, and when people didn't use those anymore, he learned software. He learned how to install, software like Microsoft Word and all those things from working at Office Depot. And when people didn't need those things anymore, and we went to the more online age, he learned how to work with computers. And when people stopped buying $2,000 computers because they start buying cell phones, he learned how to fix screens. And he was always progressing. But I'm one of 6 children. You know what I'm saying? So we did not have, like, I don't want to say, well, we were poor. I don't want to say we didn't have anything. We had what we needed. You know what I'm saying? So let's say we got school clothes. We got one set of school clothes for the year. We had clothes. They were washed. Now, mind you, might I get new clothes? Maybe at Christmas I got new clothes. But as far as when people are like, oh, what's shopping this weekend? Did not happen. It wasn't like if we got toys, it was like your birthday and Christmas. That was it. There was no, oh, the PlayStation came out. Let's go buy a PlayStation. So I didn't have money for a school lunch. We ate the free lunch. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of government assistance with our housing. We had a lot of government assistance with our healthcare. But I will say we had everything we needed. There was not a time that we did not have anything. We never not had lights. We never not had food. Now, mind you, it might be the same food, but we always had food. You know what I'm saying? And so in that, it was very important that if I wanted to do something, my parents would tell me, if you want to do something, we're not going to tell you can't. We're just not going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? And when I was 12 years old, I really, really wanted to be in dance. And I've wanted to be in dance since I was a child, like a really, really small child. And the area that I went to school in was not conducive to that. Like, no offense to other types of dance, but as for my parents and how they saw, we did not have ballet. We didn't have, jazz and tap and modern. We had bucking, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. But I also feel that there's a foundation that you need. Even when I ended up becoming a high school dance teacher at one point. I allowed that as well, but I also need you to know all your positions. I also need you to know I need your port de bras to be strong. I need you to know the foundations of anatomy so you understand how to push your body and things like that. And that wasn't provided to us. And so when I moved to Chandler when I was like 11, 12 years old. Then I had an opportunity to actually learn some classical training. And mind you, it still wasn't the classical training I needed because when I got to college, I was the bottom tier. But it'd be like that sometimes. And my parents said, if you want to do it, you can, but we're not going to pay for it. So my first summer, I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I started manifesting as a child and found a job. Now, who hires 12-year-olds? Illegal people. Don't worry about that. But I worked for a bank and a loan officer. And when this is a long time ago, so it's like 2001, and I was the person that put all the data into the computer because they weren't on computers yet. All the paperwork was literally in file cabinets at this point. And so they gave a 12-year-old people's loan papers for me to input information all summer, and they paid me $600 for the whole summer, girl.
Hey, that's big for a 12-year-old.
It was, and I used it to pay for dance. My mom took it, but she wasn't one of the moms that said, let me hold it and never gave it back. She used it for what I asked for. I said I wanted to get a job because I wanted to be in dance. And dance cost money. You had to buy uniforms. You had to buy stuff. You need stuff after school. And so anytime I needed things, she took it out of my money because they genuinely just did not have it to spend. Is that whatever you do for one, you got to do for all. And there's 6 of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Remind you, as we got older and then my parents got better and they got better opportunities. And also some of us went to college and we were at the house. That changed because they had more opportunity to give. But as a child, no, I paid for everything myself. Like literally since I was 12, I worked every summer since I was 12. And then when I got to, I'd say maybe like 17, 18 years old, I start working during the school year. I started doing computers and I started finding other ways to make money so I could do it on my own. So I'll say when I said I retired at 30, I didn't start working when I was 22. I started working when I was 12 and I started my first business when I was 18. So. Okay,
listen. And she put in the work. Some of y'all are trying to retire right now and y'all only been in business for a year. Talking about, let me retire. Why am I not making $1 million trillion right now?
Unfortunately, don't work that way.
Man.
Well, fortunately, really, because you don't even want that smoke. You don't want that smoke. You want to learn progressively.
Right. Because then when you hit different levels, you aren't going to have the tools that you need to succeed at those higher levels because you try to fast track it and take the shortcut.
Mm-hmm. Listen. And then when you get to that level, the level I'm at now, I'm here in Mexico and I've been here about a month. We just decided we just here now. It'd be like that. And being here with other people who've been living here since January 1st, who don't plan on going back till April, I'm just like, okay, I thought I was doing something. All right. Obviously, I need to talk. I'm over here talking. So what do you do? Okay, and how did you get there? All right, cool. All right, I'm trying to learn from these people. I'm like, so you get to live here for 3 months and you've already paid for it, you had to worry about it and you plan to? All right, cool. And I'm listening. I have nothing to say, ma'am. I have nothing. Please tell me.
Yes, listen, and nothing to say. Too oftentimes we want to talk, but really we have to put ourselves around people that are higher than we are, where we are trying to go, because that's how we learn and pick up those nuggets. If we are constantly in the same circle or we're the smartest person in the room, we're learning and we aren't growing, and then we're wondering why we're content and we're complacent and we're feeling unfulfilled.
Definitely.
If you are just tuning in, you're watching the Happy Hour Show with myself, Lindsey Vertner, and our very beautiful guest, Miss Myishola Matthews. She is an intuitive reader and founder of Lex TV. And right now, I hope that you have your drink because I think that this is a great time to find out exactly
what's in your cup.
Yes, this is the part of the show where we find out what's in your cup. So hopefully you grabbed your drink at home and you have a drink in your hand right now. Put it down and type in the comments what it is that you have in your cup. What are you sipping on? And if unfortunately you don't have a drink, I don't know what you were thinking, but it's okay. Tell us what you wish you were drinking and then go fix it for yourself after the show. So first, our guest will tell us what she's drinking and then she'll give us some cup cam. So Myishola Matthews, what's in your cup?
2 things, because I'm in Mexico. I was like, you know what? I got to represent for Mexico. I'm drinking Dos Equis. Dang it. There we go. Dos Equis. But also, I got this Grenadine reposado that I don't, you do a little mixy mix, do a little dancey dance with a little bit of fruit. I got some fruit and some tahini. So anyway, I just like to put the fruit in there. You got to do it right. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be in Mexico, you get the tahini and then you put the fruit. Now, mind you, the tahini is in my Dos Equis, so I'm putting it in. Got some fruit that you just toss in there, and you make a little party in there with the tahini and the fruit and some reposado. The reason why you need the fruit is because reposado kind of make it a little strong. And then the Dos Equis, you drink some first, right? To let it go down, and then you pour the rest of it in there. But the Dos Equis gives it a little bit of the fizz. So it's kind of like a fizzy, fruity tequila drink with beer.
Okay.
So, yeah. Don't judge my life, man. Don't knock till you try it.
Listen, that sounded like a whole party. My drink over here can't even compete. Over here in the comments, listen, Catherine says she is drinking tea.
Hey, Catherine, that's my baby. ladies. Oh, yay. Hey, Catherine.
What kind of tea are you drinking? Because there's lots of different teas. You know, I'm starting to feel like Forrest Gump. You got sweet tea, you got green tea, you got black tea, you got caffeinated tea, decaffeinated tea, you got herbal tea. So tell us what kind of tea you are drinking on. And Victoria says, I'm drinking water because I was slacking today, but I wish I had rum punch right now. Ooh, yes. Listen, it's okay. It's not a party in your cup. You got a healthy party in your cup.
Your body's happy having a party.
Michelle says, I wish I had a strong line.
Hey, Michelle. Oh, yay, my people. Hey, Michelle.
Listen, that was not a mispronunciation. She said a strong. That means like extra strong. She wishes she had a strong Long Island iced tea. And Catherine is drinking Yogi Detox tea. Nice and healthy. Over here, I am also on the healthy bus because I'm on this 6-week fitness plan thing, you know, because I'm getting ready for my anniversary trip here.
What?
Listen, I'm only allowed to drink some certain things. I got 2 weeks left. And so I've got water, but it is wild cherry sparkling water, okay? Yes.
We'll allow it.
And this is my cup. And I'm counting down the days till I can throw some party in my cup as well, okay? And Sheldine is also drinking water. So we're having a water party on tonight.
Making me feel like I'm
No.
Happy hour. I was like, bet happy hour. God,
no, see, you was in the right mind. It is #no judgment zone. We know we have some people that like the party in the cup, and then we have some people that like the non-party in the cup. But either way, we welcome it on the happy hour show, okay? Only reason there's no party in my cup is because I'm on my fitness plan to get my belly flat and my booty big.
Where's the booty big plan? I would like that plan. I want to still drink liquor though, so... But, you know, if you have one of those, the booty plan that doesn't keep me drinking, I'm about that life.
Well, listen, it's for 6 weeks. So, I mean, technically, after 6 weeks, you can go back. No, you can have your liquor on your cheat meal. You get a cheat meal every 7 days after the first 2 weeks.
Let me come back to America first. Look, see, the way this all-inclusive set up, I can't do it. I can't.
Yes, you can do it where you are currently located at. So let's get back into this discussion. It is getting so juicy. And listen, if y'all have questions for Myishola, post them down in the comments below. She is going to answer those later on. But you talked about, you know, always wanting to dance, and then you got the ability to go to dance school because you raised the money yourself. Holla, holla. But you also had all of your disabilities. So how did you navigate, you know, being a dancer with some of the disabilities that you mentioned earlier in the show? Because I know with dancing, there's a lot of different coordination that has to go on, especially in the classical dance.
Definitely. So definitely at a disadvantage. First of all, after business, right? You know what that is? It's basically a lazy eye. And until I was 21, I was blind in my left eye. So now I can see, but it works a little bit differently. And it's ready for another surgery. So at this point, having difficulty seeing again. But growing up, I could not see out of my left eye. And I didn't even realize how blind I was until I had surgery, honestly. Once I had surgery, I was like, dang. I mean, they told me I was blind. But no, really, I was blind. And so one of the things you need to be able to do is spot. And spotting is where you pick a point on the wall or wherever it is you're looking at, and you turn your head until you whip it back around to the same spot. Well, if you can't pick anything, you don't have depth perception, which I didn't have any depth perception. It makes it a lot harder for you to be able to maintain turns, and a lot harder for you to do. Let's say a single might be very easy. You can cheat on a single. You can even cheat on a double. Can't cheat on a quad. You know what I'm saying? Also, when I was born, my legs were kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? They had to break them and then put them back together. And I had casts like Forrest Gump for a really long time. And when they put them back together, one of my knees is higher than the other. And also, they don't necessarily behave like normal legs do. So when I'm trying to create the proper form, my legs literally do not do that. I had to work harder also because usually you start when you're a lot younger because your bones haven't fully formed. And so it actually creates a deformity for you. Well, by the time I started, a lot of my parts of my bones that needed to be malleable were no longer as malleable as I needed. So I had to work even extra hard. And then as I got to college, because I didn't have the proper training, the teacher I had taught us what she could teach us in an hour a day. You need more than an hour a day a week training to be a very good classical dancer. So I did get into dance school when I got to U of H, and it was the #1 modern program in the country at the time. I did get in, right? But if you have your 3 tiers, like first tier, second tier, third tier, I was like the middle of the bottom tier. I wasn't the worst, but I wasn't even nowhere near the second tier. And I had to struggle a lot longer. So when people got to go home after class, I had to stay and learn. And also because of my autism and my ADD, I didn't make friends that well. I don't catch social cues. It's very hard for me to catch empathy, understanding when I'm talking too much, understanding when, people want you to leave or you're annoying. I have a lot more of them now. I did not have that growing up because I was autistic. And no one told me. The funny thing is, once I realized I was autistic, I told my friends, and I was like, well, what happened? You should have told people that. We would have been nice to you. I didn't know. So it was a lot harder for me to learn dances because I can't retain very well. And also it's hard making friends. So I didn't have a lot of people that wanted to help me learn. So I learned ways to make everything go with the song. I learned sing-song things. I learned things by writing them down and practicing in my head. I learned visualization so I can remember things. I had to stay after I created a space in my house where I would be able to practice dance. I danced in my garage. I danced in my backyard, whatever I could. I had to work extra hard to get there, but it didn't prevent me from learning. I was still able to, like I said, become a professional ballerina. I was able to become a professional dancer. I'm a professional cheerleader. I was able to start touring and everything. So I didn't let it stop me. It was just more so I had to work harder. And some people would be like, well, I'm not very good because I have to work harder, so I'm going to stop. It was more so, okay, I just have to figure out how to make it work because this is what I want to do.
Yes. Listen, a living epitome of working hard for what you want. Again, so many of us want the easy way out. We want the quick fix. We want to try for just a second, try maybe another time or two, and then we want to give up and throw that pity party. Oh, I can never have my dreams come true.
Oh, I have a story I remember just when he said that. So I wanted to dance for Disney. And this goes back to me manifesting for since I was little. I wanted to dance for Disney and I would see it on TV, the Disney Channel movie. And I was like, I want to be that person, And I willed into existence them having an audition in Channel View. And I know I had to will that shit because it's Channel View. You know what I mean? Why are they looking at Channel View? And I remember I wanted it really, really bad. And I remember a friend of mine going with me. It was a male, and he went with me. His name is Ezekiel. I can't remember his last name. Ezekiel Cardenas, I think it's something like that. And needless to say, I did not make it. Obviously, a lot of physical abnormalities. And I was not as trained on catching things quickly. It was very hard for me to catch things very quickly. And when you go to audition for Disney, baby, they're going to show it to you. You remember that Eric from Aunt Viv? They're going to 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I love it.
And I'm like, all right, here we go. And I'm just like, wait, I didn't get that. Could you do it again? No, they don't have time to do it again, boo-boo. You got 2 times that they're going to show you. They're going to give you 2 or 3 minutes to get yourself together and come back. So needless to say, I did not make it. I was very sad. I boo-hooed my heart out. My father was not very warm and fuzzy about it. My father was always like, okay, so you didn't make it. So why didn't you make it?
Girl, get up.
Figure it out. Try again next time. You know what I'm saying? I think he did allow me a good 2 hours to cry. And after he's like, all right, get up, let's go. What I did was, my friend who did make it was easier for him to make it because he was male. A lot less males auditioning than women. I understand that. I studied him. I studied how he performed. I studied how he practiced. I learned things. I started paying for my own privates because I wasn't learning enough in school. There was no way for me to learn that in school. She has she's 30 kids, you know what I'm saying? For 1 hour, it's not enough time. So I had to start making money to go take my own private lessons so I can increase myself so I can learn how to retain information quicker. Also, Disney wanted you to sing and dance, right? I really can't sing. You know what I'm saying? I can hold a tune. So I had to learn how to do that. I had to find ways to stand out. I had to get advice. I had to go to somebody who did make it and say, all right, Ezekiel, what did you do? What do you know? What are they looking for when they have these auditions again? And I did that for a whole year. Mm-hmm. And when it came back around, I was prepared. I knew 1, stop wearing things that everybody wears. I need to stand out. I learned 2, don't change my outfit from audition to audition. When I come back with the same outfit, oh, you had a girl in the pink, the bright pink, you know what I'm saying? I learned pick things that people aren't picking. So at this time, I think High School Musical was out and That's So Raven and all that. And everybody for the audition singing was singing, High School Musical and stuff. I sung Etta James, Sunday Kind of Love. You know what I'm saying? He gave me pointers that would help me do better. So I didn't get bitter or mad that he made it and I didn't. I was like, I'm so glad you made it. Please tell me what you've learned. You know what I'm saying? Can I show up to your stuff? Can I see whatever you practice? Can you show me? Can you teach me whatever you're learning so I can learn that style of dance? And then I tried again, and then I made it the next year.
I gotta pause you because that went over some people's heads, because some of y'all are in some relationships with y'all friends and y'all circle that you need to let go. So she just gave an example of 2 different kind of friends, okay? So you figure out which one are you and which one are the people in your circle, okay? So you said you didn't get bitter, you got better. Some of y'all got some friends in life that when they see you doing good and achieving stuff, they get bitter. They might compliment you, but it got a little underhanded shade to it. And you're like, thank you, kind of. How many of y'all have one of those friends? Hopefully you're not that friend, especially not if you're watching this show. But if you are, you're watching the show to get better.
Today.
So some of y'all have some friends that don't like to celebrate you, especially if they're not getting the things that they desire to get, okay? So there's that friend that you need to watch out for. And you need to be like Myishola did. Don't get bitter, get better, and work harder for what you want. Learn what you need to improve. Go after it, what you want. Don't just sit and throw a pity party and say the world's against me. Don't do that. But then
there.
You got the other friend. What was his name? Ezekiel. Shout out to Ezekiel.
Yes, thank
you. Ezekiel friend. Get you an Ezekiel, okay? Ezekiel, he didn't rub it in her face that he made it and she didn't. Instead, he was like, girl, this is your go-to. All right, how can I support you? How can I encourage you? How can I uplift you so that I can pull you up with me as I rise? I'm helping you to rise too, not just like, you on your own, girl. You gonna take my spot. So what kind of friend are you, viewer, listener? And who's in your circle? Listen, I just want to take a pause because they need to hear that. Catherine says yes. And Sean says, I had plenty. And I love that you said had. So that means you let them go.
Yes.
Hopefully. And Michelle, I see your question. We're going to save that one for the question portion here. And so listen, I just love that little story that you shared right there. And actually, Michelle's question was one of the questions that I was going to ask you as well. Well, hers is a little bit different. So I'll ask you this one. On your site, you mentioned that you are well-versed in accelerated personal evolution. So tell us what that means. What is that all about?
Okay, so accelerated personal evolution is deciding who it is that you want to be and then putting yourself on the fast track to becoming that person with like the least minimal resistance, as little resistance as possible. But in order to do that, there are some steps that you need to do along the way. I have like an 8-step thing that I keep in my head. I teach it to other people. I use the moon cycles to help me remember because my ADD be like that sometimes. And if I don't have the moon cycle, I'm like, what day was I on? I don't remember what portion I was on. And it's just easy to work with. But it's accepting that you are no longer who you had been, finding out who you plan to be, and then making preparation and steps to become that person so that you can get there with ease. You can transition with ease. A lot of times people have issues once they realize they're no longer the person that they were. They feel lost. They feel like they're going in circles. They feel like they've lost their purpose. Sometimes they have a very hard time letting things go. I had a client not too long ago. I hope she's watching this. I love her. And she posted a thing today on Instagram about basically not listening to like guides and spirit guides and stuff like that. That told her, hey, your cycle is over in this business that you're in. It's no longer time for you to do this business. You need this business to learn X, Y, Z. And now that you learn this business, you are off to do something else. But some of us want to hold on to that and be like, but this is who I am, which goes back to what I said in the beginning. No, you are not your business. You are not a mother. You are not a student. You are not a nurse. You are not a doctor. You are energy. You are love. You are peace. You are joy. You are light. That's who you are. And that will always be. But accepting who you're becoming and what role you're about to play, what lane you're about to be in, and letting go of the other lane with ease. That is what I call accelerated personal evolution.
Love it. I love it. And so what tips would you give for people that are looking to accelerate their personal evolution?
Goes back to my number one thing I said before. Embrace change. Things will change. I remember, okay, so this time last year, I had really big, long, curly crochet hair. I loved it. It made me happy. I wore a lot more makeup. I really don't wear makeup anymore. Like this is done up now. Like normally I don't wear any makeup anymore. I had 9 businesses at the time. I wrapped a lot of my success around my businesses and around the money that I was making those businesses. And I was doing a bunch of stuff and I was happy with it. And as time progressed, especially with COVID happening, things just pivot, things change. And I was getting a lot of energy of, you don't need to be doing these things anymore. And it was very hard for me to let go because I wrapped all of my things around, this is what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But I've already done so much work. I've already put so much effort in. I've spent years developing this. I've been in branding and marketing for almost 12 years at that point. I started my own business in it after 8 years of working in corporate America doing it. And I'm like, this is what I do. I'm really good at it. So the first tip would be let it go. Let go of the idea of whatever it is you thought you were or you thought you had. You know what I mean? I never thought I'd have locks, but here we are that I'm working on my locks, accept that whatever that is gone. Throw it away. You know what I mean? Just accept it. And things aren't fair. You might feel like I put all this effort in. You just get over it because guess what? You're not going to win against the universe anyway. You can do it the easy way, the hard way. Just let it go. The second thing would be to write out who you want to be. I like to script. That's how I do it. Some other people do it different ways. Write out who you want to be. Figure out the plan, like all the way down to the T. Where do you shop? What do you eat? What do you do in the morning? When you wake up, where are you going? When you go to sleep, what are you doing? All those things. Create what it is that you want to be as a whole. Not including your job, not including money. If you were to be a character on television, let's say for people who have no clue what they want. I had no clue what I wanted to be. I wrapped my entire existence around my businesses. And so when God was like, you don't need these businesses anymore, I was like, well, what do you want me to do? And he was like, go pick somebody on TV. And I always wanted to be Hillary Banks, right? I loved her. Like that was what wants to be in my head. I was like, I want to be Hillary's friend. I want to be Hillary Banks. And I was like, okay, Myi, what would Hillary be doing? She likes to shop. I didn't know I liked to shop. I thought I didn't like to shop. Come to find out I was just poor. I love shopping. Yeah, I love shopping. I realized I really like tea parties. I like throwing tea parties. I like throwing picnics. I like making charcuterie boards. I like horseback riding, But I chose to find a character I liked because I didn't have my own identity outside of business and making money and education. And then start trying things. Just start trying to see what you like and then make a list of what you liked and what you did not like. There's some things that I was like, you know what? Not for me. I thought I want to do it. Actually, I don't like this very much. Never mind. Tennis. I'm really bad at tennis. No depth perception. Don't really work for me. It's not fun. You know what I mean? Scratch that off the list. Once I've created what I wanted to be based on activities and characters, right? I really wanted to be a nicer person. I wanted people to tell me that I had a kind demeanor and that my delivery was very nice and elegant. That was not who I was at all at the time. And that's something I still am striving to work for. And I'm happy that I'm finally getting feedback. People telling me my delivery is like great. I'm like, oh, thank God, because I've been working on it. I also understood that I was autistic and I don't understand social cues very well. So I had to work on that, create a list of those things, and then make a plan of how you're going to get there. So if you were doing this with moons, right? New moon, you start with the what you want, and then you move into what does that look like, right? So I'm like, I probably need to go to some therapy. I probably need to take some social skill classes. I probably need to read some self-help books. Probably need to, try some new things. I probably need to get feedback from my friends. Probably need to get feedback from people who don't want to be my friend anymore, and work on ways to develop myself. And then once I've made the plans of what I'm going to do, I take action. I actually start doing those things. And some things don't work out well and some things need reevaluating. I keep pushing until I get to what I would call the full moon phase. And I'd say, okay, take evaluation of what has been working, what has not been working. Where can I reassess? I make another plan to say, these are some things I could fix. Okay, I tried that. That didn't go very well. Obviously, I'm not retaining this information this way. How else can I do this? Rework my plan, start again, try again, and then start over. But at the end of it, so let's say after I finish the full moon, and then I say, okay, I worked again, I reworked my plan, I tried it again. When I have that last sliver, my waning crescent moon, I'm going to figure out what I need to let go of. Because there's some ideologies and dreams and hopes and things that you think that you want. And once you get into it, you realize, actually, I don't want that at all. It's okay to rework your goals. If you get to a part where you realize that's actually not the goal you want, drop it. Don't waste any more time. If you thought you wanted to go to nursing school and then you actually got nursing school and you realize you don't want to be a nurse anymore, leave. It's okay. Now, mind you, this is too hard. Don't do that. But if you realize I don't like blood, so for instance, when I was 15, I got an internship at a doctor's office because I thought I wanted to be a doctor. And then the first week I realized I don't like watching needles go into people's skin, let alone incisions. Probably not for me. Mind you, I needed the money because I was trying to pay for dance school. So they luckily let me type information in the computer with M-Track. Who's do this? I'm sure it was illegal. Don't care. Anyway, so rework your plan. I started law school. I'm in my third year. I have 1 year left of law school and I will finish it one day, but that's not for right now. And if I were to be like, well, I started, I have to finish it. How much time would I waste? How much energy would I waste trying to do something that no longer serves me anymore? At the time that I decided to go to law school, that made sense for where I was. That made sense for the marriage I was in. That made sense for my business and my life. And where I am now, it doesn't benefit me to go to law school because I don't plan on being a lawyer. I'm retired. So
there are so many gems all up in that. And there was another one. You said you started law school, you still have 1 year left, but you're not doing that right now. I hear that all the time with clients and people in general, where they either want to go back to school and they feel like it's too late, or they get so caught up in, I'm not going to finish in 4 years. I'm not going to finish in 4 years. And I have to pause them and say, who said you had to finish in 4 years? Nobody. Nobody said that. If you have things on your plate, like maybe you are a parent, maybe you have a full-time job, you are likely not going to be able to handle a full-time school schedule as well. If you can, that's amazing. But if you can't and you feel it and you're overwhelmed and it's causing you to go backwards rather than forwards, then you need to break it down. Say, you know what? It might take me 8 years, but I'm going to take one class a semester. It might take me a little longer than the 4 years somebody told me I was supposed to do it in, but it's okay because I'm going to do it at a pace that works for me and doesn't cause me to get overwhelmed and become paralyzed because I haven't done it in the right way and it's making me all stressed, and then I just don't have the mental and emotional and physical capacity to do it, period.
And the time will pass anyway. If it takes you 8 years, guess what? The time will pass anyway. And next thing you know, if somebody told me in the beginning, oh, you're going to, and the funny thing is someone did tell me in the beginning that I would retire in 10 years. When I first started being very serious about wanting to retire early, it might take you 10, 12 years. And at the time I was like, oh my God, this will be forever. But guess what? The 10 years came. Just do the work. Don't worry about it. If you have to stop and come back, guess what? It'll still happen. If it's meant to be, it will happen. It's okay.
Yes. Just do the work. That needs to be on the shirt. Hashtag just do the work, everybody. Put that in the comments. Hashtag just do the work. That's it. That's the show. That's the show right there.
That's it. That's all.
That's the message. Just do the work. When you get laser focused, when you are clear on your intentions on what you want and you are laser focused, you have your blinders on, that time flies by so much faster than when you're focused on this, focused on that. You looking to the left side, looking to the right side, and all over the place and complaining about the work that you do have to do.
Oh, I want to add one more thing. I don't know. I'm trying, you know, I curse too much and I like to drink. So I'm trying to be as much G-rated as I can. Forget other people. I don't care what somebody tells you, what you can and cannot do, or how obligated they feel you should be to them about whatever it is. If you don't want to do something anymore, you are not obligated to do anything you don't want to do. I don't care what it is. I don't care who it is. If you decide, hey, now mind you, be ethical about it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do something anymore, it's not your page, you can make money back. But whatever, but if you don't have to do anything. So when I decided I don't want to have my business anymore, right? I want to not do my business anymore. You know, people are mad. Like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. But I don't want to do this business anymore. I don't want to make any more websites. I don't want to make any more flyers. I don't want to do it anymore. And guess what? I'm not going to. I'm not doing it anymore. This is the last day I'm going to do it. And then after that, I'm not doing it anymore. And that was it. And I stuck to it. And so while people are like, well, I feel like you should, I don't care what you feel like I should be doing. At this point, I'm going to sit on this beach and I'm going to mind my business because God told me that's what I could do. And I'm having a good day. And if later I want to pick it back up, I can. And ain't nobody going to say nothing about it neither.
Listen.
I don't want to do.
A whole nother word. Sheldine says, I needed to hear this. Thanks, lady. You are very welcome. That's how we do on the Happy Hour show. And Sean says, yes, absolutely. Because this seems to be a reoccurring theme in conversations lately. Whose expectations are you trying to live up to? And that's where we get stuck in this cycle. That's where we get burnt out. That's where we start lacking self-care and lowering our own sense of self-worth because we're too busy trying to live up to the expectations of other people and who they think that we should be. You are the one that wakes up with yourself. You are the one that goes to bed with yourself. You have to put your needs and your priorities first, despite what other people think. That doesn't mean be selfish in the I don't care about anybody, inconsiderate asshole type of way. That means like you put your emotional and mental health first, because that overflows into our physical health. And if there's something that is not serving you, be okay with letting it go. The only expectation that you should be living up to is God's expectation of who he called you to be. Not Susie, not Johnny, not Karen, not Jim, not Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, but God. And that's it. Period, point blank.
And be okay people not liking you.
Yeah.
Because guess what? People ain't gonna like you, know it. There are people always not like you. So if somebody don't like you, be like, well, dang, I'm so sorry. Let me remove myself from your presence so that you don't have to deal with me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
And
it's
I'm
okay. It's okay.
Here, unbothered. So listen. I know that there are some questions. If you haven't put your questions in the comments, do that right now, because right now we're gonna play a little game that I like to call
30-second hot shot. Answer the question in 30 seconds or less, or take your shot.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Shots.
Listen, if you are new to the show, this is 30-second hot shot. Our special guest, Miss Myishola Matthews, has 30 seconds to answer your questions. And if she misses, it's shot, everybody. So she has to take a shot, and you at home have to take a shot of whatever's in your cup. It's okay if it's PG-13 or if it's X-rated. That's your prerogative. That's your choice. But take a shot of whatever you're sipping on, okay? So let me get my timer. Get my timer going. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. How it works is I will read the question, and then I'll hit the go on the timer, and you'll have 30 seconds to answer, okay?
Okay.
I didn't realize my mic was so far away. I'm sorry, y'all. I hope y'all been here.
You sound great, girl.
Thank you, because I just happened to look over. My mic was way over there. Okay, so first, let's go back to this question that was up here from Miss Michelle Davis. Michelle says, what does it mean to be a master of rebirthing? Go.
Okay, so I would say to be master, be someone who's very good at accepting change very quickly and evaluating and changing and doing it multiple times. So at this point, I'd say I probably had like 10 lives and been married 3 times and had a bunch of careers. And I've been a teacher and a ballerina and a professional dancer and all these other things. So master would be okay with changing your life a million times and just moving forward.
Yeah. You got it. You had 6 seconds left to spare. Yes. Okay, and then so we have some submitted questions over here as well. The next question comes from, how'd you become an influencer? Go.
On accident, I didn't mean to. I just like to travel a lot, and I take really pretty pictures. I was a model for like 10 years. That was my full-time job, and I worked for a lot of liquor brands. And so when doing that, I had a lot of people that helped me with that, and so I had a lot of contacts. And I like to travel, and I take good pictures, so people start paying me for it, and that's how that happened.
12 seconds left to spare. Listen, she is gonna be the master hot okay. Okay, and so here is another one. Ooh, let's see if you get this one in 30 seconds. What is the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome, and how'd you do it?
Dude, my marriages, man. Look, let me tell you, I loved everybody I married, right? Cool. They was bomb. Unfortunately, I changed as a person. I grew as a person. Not that they didn't grow, but when you are in a relationship or you try to be with somebody before you've healed and before you become who you are, then as you change and grow, you might outgrow that person or change. Not even outgrow. Not that it was above or beneath. I just changed. And letting those relationships go took a very, very, very long time. And I think that's the only thing I've had difficulty actually letting go of, because I did not want that to happen. And you kind of feel like, damn, like that, dang, I got to change again. So did I make it?
Oh, barely. You got it right at the buzzer. Listen, y'all not going to take no shots today. Now, some of y'all are excited that you don't have to take shots, and some of y'all are upset that you don't have to take shots. Listen, it's your business. Do what you like, okay? So we have one more question here.
Okay.
And so this question is, how do you manage being Christian and intuitive? Because a lot of people think that
Oh,
you
dang.
can be both.
We're going to take these shots today, y'all.
Go.
Okay. So a lot of Christianity and hoodoo and voodoo and spirituality are all the exact same thing. And when we came to America, we had to learn to put that in there. So for instance, Myi and the Virgin Mary are all the same people anyway. Santeria is very basic Christianity as well. And if you understand the Bible, understand where it came from, you completely understand that's basically the same thing. And whether you be Shiva, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever, it's all the same God. And as long as you want to do something positive, you're good. That's how I reconcile it, because God is love. And as long as I'm doing something positive, God loves me, we happy. And I talk to him directly. That's the thing. I talk to God literally directly. He cool with me.
At the buzzer again. Listen, Catherine says Myishola was made for this game.
No, I talk fast.
All facts, no fiction, okay? Y'all gonna have to go back, watch the replay, and slow it down if you can to catch that one. She gave you all the tea on how that works. God is cool with her, she said.
Oh, can we answer?
Yes, we sure can. She says, did it take you long to open up a speak publicly and be comfortable?
Two parts. One, my parents made me be an orator since I was 4 years old, and I got to travel all over the world and be on TV and stuff, giving speeches, and they made me practice literally where I would stand and everything. They kind of Joe Jackson does be like that sometimes. But if you're talking about spiritually, no, because my parents raised me as a witch. So it really took me just remembering that I was a witch, because they taught me these things and I didn't know that it was witch-based or witchcraft or anything until I met people and witchcraft became trendy. And then I was like, wait, these are things I do anyway. Like my parents would give me stones and stuff to carry my backpack and things like that. So I didn't ever see it as bad. So it wasn't everything I had to not open up about. And also I'm autistic and bipolar, and I got astigmatism and strabismus and a lazy eye. So people don't like me no way. So no, I didn't care.
Listen, it was the last one that we slid in there. Y'all got to take a shot, okay? Y'all gotta take y'all shots. Unless you're driving and listening, don't do that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Unless it's a shot of water or juice or something, okay? So listen, that was 30-second hot shot, and you killed it. And so there is one more question that I have to ask you, but I'm going to save that for a moment because I do want to very quickly circle back to some comments. And I want to know if you just have any advice for this young lady. She says, I don't have a circle anymore. So this is going back to when we was talking about who's in your circle and who's your friends. And she says, I support others, but they get mad when I get better, or they throw in my face what they've done for me. So what words of advice would you have for Miss Shawn?
Two parts. One, I'm glad you don't have that circle. So I would say in 2019, I decided to get a divorce. And I guess I didn't decide to get divorced. He divorced me, but whatever. It'd be like that sometimes. Anyway, I need to be a better person, honestly. And I realized that, and I took a lot of time off for myself. And in that time, I found out that everybody that was around me was just really mad that I wasn't helping them anymore, that I wasn't showing up anymore, that I wasn't answering phone calls. And I really need to take that time for myself. And I feel like I gave to everybody. In the moment I was down, not one person called and said, hey, Myi, are you okay? Do you need anything? Is everything okay? They were just like, why aren't you doing this for me? Why aren't you doing that for me? And I realized they weren't really my friends. And so I got rid of them, all of them. And this time around this year, I've been on vacation since January. I've been in Mexico. I have no clue when I'm coming back. Houston's having a snowstorm, that's why I'm not back yet. But when I left, I got off Facebook. We moved to Mexico. We have been chilling. I've been really trying to regain and just calm and just relax and reclaim my time. And I have friends go, hey, just check on you, make sure you're okay. Do you need anything? Oh, you're taking a break? Great. I love it. I'm so happy. Please take all the time you need. If you want to just talk, let me know. If you don't, that's cool. I have a very good supportive circle around me. And I was actually very worried that people would be very upset that I left because I was so traumatized from the last time I took a break from life. But what I found was in me being myself and being unapologetic and not caring if somebody had a problem with me, and if they want to walk away, let them walk away. The people who were meant to stay, stayed. But my second point of advice was I realized the reason why I had low vibrational people around me was because I was low vibrational. Probably also my husband divorced me, but it'd be like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I was like, let me go to some therapy. Let me read some books. Let me go talk to people who don't like me anymore, find out why, so I can be a better person, so I can do better, so I can attract people that are happier, because the people that I wanted to be around me didn't want to be around me. You know what I'm saying? People around you that are low vibrational, check yourself, and also remove them. And if you're happy, what I found was once you become happy and you set boundaries and you love yourself and you practice self-love, they remove themselves anyway. So
Absolutely. They sure do, because your spirit irritates their demons. Mm-mm.
Yes, definitely. They'd be like, you too happy. I can't be around you, too positive. Well,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's okay.
Listen, I just had that conversation with one of my sister besties, and she had ended a relationship, and he said to her very specifically that I don't like how happy and positive you are. And she was like, what? Like, that don't make no sense.
How does it even work?
Listen, misery loves company, okay? So go back and watch the replay and listen again to what she just dropped as far as letting go of those people. And listen, when you let go of those people, you open up the door and you make room and you make space for the people that are meant for you. And if those people still are not coming, then that's definitely an additional cue that there's some things that you need to work on and check within yourself. Because once you have yourself good and you removed all the negative space, then you have the space for the positive to come in and fill that space.
Definitely.
That's two part. Sean says, that's what I did. Yes. And Sheldine says, yes. Hashtag happy. And speaking of happy, I have a question that I have to ask all of my happy hour show guests. So I am all about living a first class life, which is exactly what you're doing, honey. It's about shedding away those masks of fear, doubt, unworthiness, not feeling good enough, the expectations of other people, and instead being boldly and confidently walking authentically in who you are, flaws and all. It's about being intentional about the life that you are creating for yourself, because we all deserve to live a VIP lifestyle, but it's one that we create from within, okay? So my question is, how do you intentionally create happiness in your life?
Ooh, I set goals for myself. I don't limit my goals at all. I don't be modest. I don't be shy. I don't think, well, I that's too much or anything like that. So for instance, like I said, we've been in Mexico. I don't even know how long. I think this 6 weeks at this point we've been on vacation, and we're going to stay here at least until it stops snowing in Houston. But probably a little bit past that. And that's okay. And for instance, one of the things I was telling you earlier is, we were in not a small room or anything. It was a very nice room. It was oceanfront, but upgraded from that, because if we were going to be here for a couple of weeks, we needed a lot more space. And so now we have a front yard and a patio and another room and a jacuzzi tub and a bedroom and a couch, and you know what I mean? And choosing to live how I want to live, but also understanding that as long as I'm doing positive things, God will support me, as long as I'm also serving. So when God calls me to do things or asks me to do things, I do it. But in that, I understand that I'm rewarded and blessed. And I understand and rely on that faith. I walk by faith, not by sight, and understand that God is fully supporting me in whatever I want to do. Whatever goal I have, the same 8 steps I was telling you about, I set a goal for it. I figure out what I need to do. I do it. And I just choose to understand, to believe that God will give me all the desires of my heart. And if you put it on my heart to want, he will give it to me. Now, mind you, faith without works is dead. I still have to work for what I want. But I'm fully supported by God and my angels and my ancestors and everything that love me. And I walk with that. And that's how I intentionally do it. Whatever it is I want, first I ask God, can I do da-da-da? And usually he's like, of course, child, I love you. You can do whatever you want. And then I work towards that and I make it happen. I believe that it will happen because I know that God has told me whatever I want, he will give me.
Yes, listen, replay on replay, okay? So, listen, I can't believe we are at the top of the hour already. We went just a little bit over an hour, but it's my show. I can do whatever I want, okay? So, make sure you follow this phenomenal guest, Ms. Myishola Matthews, intuitive reader and founder of Lux TV. And you can find her at www.itsthegoodwitch.com or on IG, Instagram at Myishola. That's MYISHOLA for all of my audio listeners out there. Follow her. Tell them, is there anything that you would like to share? Any final words? Anything for the audience? Tell them right now. What would you like?
The main thing I'm telling people, right? God did not put you here to work. You do not need that job. Now, mind you, if you're 15, 16 years old, please work. If you ain't never had a job in life, please work. Learn social skills, learn, stamina and all that. But if you've already been in your field and you've been growing, you've been learning, you've been putting in the work, God did not put you here to work. He put you here to serve. You're not serving. You're just working. You're missing the point. And your purpose isn't to serve. Your purpose is to be happy. Your purpose is to enjoy life. Literally, that is your purpose here on this earth. It's as if God literally dropped us off at Astroworld. And all y'all out here working at the lemonade stand or trying to work the fry stands. Well, I wanted to ride the rides, and God already paid for your ticket to ride the rides. He's like, why are you working in the lemonade stand? Well, I thought I need to work to ride the rides. Who told you that? I just want to enjoy Astroworld, and you're working behind the counter. Go enjoy your life. Be happy. That's all I got to say.
Go enjoy your life. Be happy. Again, rewind and watch the replay so you can catch that nugget, okay? So listen, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Happy Hour show with myself, Lindsey Vertner, and my very beautiful guest, Myishola Matthews. It has been a phenomenal hour, and I know that you can be doing anything else in the world right now, whether it's evening, afternoon, or morning for you, but you are here with us, and for that, I am grateful and I appreciate you. So if you want to stay updated on future episodes, season 2 is actually wrapping up. We got a show on Thursday and a show on Tuesday, and that's the end of season 2.
Already, wow.
Yes. Then we'll be on a little break. A little break, and then we'll be back for season 3. So make sure that you stay updated when those applications open for, if you want to be a guest, you got to apply. And bit.ly/happy updates is where you can stay updated on all things Happy Hour show. Okay. Make sure you follow me on social media, and that's how you can also stay updated on my phenomenal guests. And sometimes they give happy hour specials, but only if you're on the VIP list. And you got to go to bit.ly/happy updates to get on that. Okay. So again, thank you, Myishola. It has been amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Take a screenshot if you need to. And with that, I will see y'all on this Thursday for another episode of the Happy Hour Show. Have a blessed and abundant day, everyone. Bye.